Once you donate plasma, and if you are still meeting all the eligibility criteria, you can donate every 15 days. Remember, your one bag of plasma is made into 2 alicos and goes to save 2 recipients. And once you donate every 15 days, of course, that number grows up exponentially.
Hi there. We are in the middle of the worst second wave of COVID-19 the world has seen. This time it has hit home for most of us. As I'm recording this, all my family members are battling with this deadly virus. A lot of my dear friends have lost their loved ones, and we have never been such helpless. On the other hand, there are amazing stories of hope. Stories of people going out of their way to help others in every possible way. While this might be the worst pandemic we have seen, but also this is the time when we have seen best of the humanity. The stories of people stepping up to help others and save lives are just amazing. We can't be grateful enough for those people. In today's episode, I have a conversation with someone who has been tirelessly helping people and saving lives by starting a plasma donation network. Dr. Maria Nigam is a doctor based in Mumbai. Along with a few friends, started a plasma donation initiative last year. Since then, they have been matching donors to recipients and facilitating the donation process. In this episode, we'll explore everything around plasma donation, how it can help COVID patients, myths associated with this, and how can you save lives. Also, I would like to share that the podcasting community in India has come together under the Pod for Change initiative to raise funds through Give India. Join us at Wine Studio and Pod for Change as we look to make a positive impact in the lives of those affected by COVID-19. Please visit the link in the description or go to theinspiringtalk.com/give to make your donation. If this podcast has ever added value to you, this is your time to pay it forward. Remember, someone really needs help. Now, let's get on to today's episode. Dr. Maria, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Vijay, and really very grateful for giving me this opportunity to be the voice for Prana, which is a pan-India plasma, blood and platelet donation project. You must be wondering what Prana is. Mm-hmm. Well, it's a classic example of the rainbow in the midst of this storm.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been hearing a lot of good things about you. And our common friend reached out to me saying that, hey, you know what, these guys are doing really great job. And the stories needs to be heard. And I thought there could be no better way, no better time than this to, talk about what Prana is doing and also dive deep into the aspect of plasma donation, because you can literally be saving tons of lives, which we'll discuss in this show. So please go ahead and say, what is Prana? And I know that I'm aware that it's completely self-funded project where a bunch of friends got together to help people and save lives. So share with us how it got started and then how is it going so far?
Well, when last year COVID landed at our doorstep, one night in July, I got this distress call from a family member, himself on a hospital bed, trying to organize plasma for his loved one in the ICU. And it took a couple of hours trying to get that bag. And it just struck me that this is just the beginning. We are going to see the need for plasma grow. And I just knew more had to be done. I had the support of wonderful co-founders, Dr. Lobo and Chaitra Chidanand at the tech end. And we just got our thoughts together and gave delivery to this baby in July of last year.
So you said that, that started with someone asking for plasma and you did that and you thought like, oh, there might be so many other people who might need plasma. And then you went and now you have a tech team who is kind of building the tech where people can go and register. Please share with us like how Prana works. there is a donor in one side and there is a recipient on the other side of the patient who is lying in the hospital bed who need plasma, how prana comes in and how it helps to connect these two.
So the whole goal of prana is to make plasma universally, easily, and comfortably available to each and every patient, no matter which hospital they are in. So as you rightly said, we are the linkage. We are what connects donors who can provide plasma, which is part of their blood, with a recipient who really, really needs it, perhaps to recover. So we are not only tech enabled, but we also have our strengths in a very personalized approach. So a donor would first sign into the link available on our website, available on all of our social handles, and then it would be followed up by a call from a volunteer who would actually listen in to a donor's story. And I think that's really very important. It helps in rapport building and empathizing with that donor and getting to know him or her better. And of course, it's followed up by a call with the doctors who finally discuss eligibility and will discuss options for donation. For us, donor comfort and ease and safety is very, very important. So we would always give them a choice of blood banks. In Mumbai, we are partnered with the Federation of Bombay Blood Banks. And pan-India, we strive to work only with the major hospital blood banks, all in keeping with ensuring safety and the best medical practices are being adhered to in the process. So once a donor signs onto this link, it will take just 3 minutes of your time. So come on out there, everybody. Head to our website if you've recovered from COVID and sign into the Prana Donor Registry.
Yeah, for everybody who is listening and getting curious that, okay, can I donate plasma? Is it safe and stuff like that? So we'll go there step by step. So first, I want to talk about what exactly is plasma and how does it help COVID patients?
So plasma is, if you see a picture of plasma, it looks like a bag of gold, as I call it. It's just the liquid component of your blood, which is a yellowish fluid. And it's what holds all the cells of the blood, which are the red blood cells, the white blood cells, and the platelets. And also these tiny little magic bullets, as we call them, which are the antibodies. Now, when you suffer COVID, your immune system mounts a war with the virus. And how does it do it? We have one part of the immunity, which is building up these magic bullets in your blood. And that's how a COVID patient has possibly recovered. There are other reasons and other immune mechanisms. And of course, medication could have also helped a patient recover. But the presumption is that the antibodies in a patient's plasma contributed to his or her recovery. And hence, if we harvest that plasma with a sufficient titer of antibodies, it would go to help the recovery of somebody else who is struggling with COVID. Mind you, plasma, like most other therapies, is still in a trial mode, is given in as compassionate use and it's in emergency use mode. And Prana doesn't prescribe the plasma. It has been prescribed by the attending doctor. We are the ones who are facilitating the delivery of this bag to the patient who needs it. And given our experience since last July, now almost 10 months old, we have seen when given early, when given with strict patient selection criteria, I feel that we do hold some form of living proof in the hundreds of recipients whom we have sent home healed. They share their stories all the time with us on Instagram. Do head there. One of them called me even from the hospital, and said, "Doctor, I heard when I was so ill, you helped to arrange the plasma. Can I donate plasma and save more lives?" And that was just so touching. But unfortunately, we'll be discussing it further. But those who have received plasma cannot donate blood or blood products for a whole year. So That's how we have developed our systems.
Yeah.
And
That's really beautiful. And if I draw an analogy to something that people can maybe, relate on the relate is what we are doing is we all right now are in this war. We are in this war with COVID. If you are someone who fought it and who won that battle, that means, as doctor said, you have these magic bullets, which was able to, kill those COVID virus in your body. Now, all you are doing is just because you have the bullet that's helping you fight through that. Now you are saying like, I am going to donate this to someone else who is on the fight, who is in this battle, so that, that person can also win that battle. That's amazing. The other thing is there are a lot of myths around donating plasma. One being like, it's not helping people, or, that's one. People say that, it doesn't help people who are fighting the COVID. And you have already said, there are hundreds of people who have gone through Prana's system of donating and receiving plasma, has recovered, and early recovery and helps a lot, right? So what are some of the myths, common myths around donating plasma, and how many of those are true? How many of those are false? Maybe it would be great if you can walk us through that.
I think the first question we constantly get, Doctor, I'm going to lose my immunity when I donate plasma, but
Mm,
antibodies and your memory cells, they are constantly generating more antibodies. And more often than not, as they begin to donate plasma, they come back to us 15 days later and their titers have gone up.
mm,
So that's the first myth. I will lose my immunity. Absolutely not. You have just recovered from COVID. The first time we harvest plasma is 28 days after you are fully recovered. And your body just keeps generating antibodies for a certain period of time. So you would not have lost any immunity. The second question we get all the time is that, it's not safe for me. And as the pandemic evolved, we have been able to develop extremely stringent protocols where our donors sometimes are referred to only COVID free facilities. So there's, absolutely no exposure to COVID at these blood banks, and their safety is taken care of with utmost precaution at the blood bank itself. So that part is also taken care of. The third question is, Doctor, I will get COVID again.
mm,
Well, in the early days, when let us say from July to maybe even December, we would like to say that, the number of reinfections were just in double digits, true
mm,
reinfections, which is getting
mm,
infected with COVID of another strain. But now the risk lies because with the number of mutations that COVID has expressed in India at the moment, we do know that there could be a risk of getting reinfected. But then again, we advise all of our donors to stay double masked. Sometimes, if you want, add a shield. And as I said, each and every blood bank that we are associated with practice utmost safety precautions to protect the donor. And we have not had a single case where the donor has picked up COVID in attempting to donate plasma.
mm. That's great. Thanks for clarifying that. And also, it's important to note that you mentioned plasma is just that white fluid that is taken out of your body, and rest of it is injected back into the patient, right? Is that what the process looks like?
So once you are eligible, we arrange an appointment for you. Plasma can only be harvested at a blood bank. We
Mm-hmm.
cannot hold camps like blood donation
Mm-hmm.
camps, although the process is just as simple and safe, but it has to be done at a blood bank.
Mm-hmm.
So once you reach the blood bank, a small sample of your blood will be drawn for testing to actually know what are your antibody levels and also
Mm-hmm.
all the screening tests for bloodborne pathogens. Once you've cleared that test, and that process will take around an hour, the donation process starts, which itself just takes 30 to 40 minutes. In that process, your blood will be drawn out from your vein. It enters a machine, which is the apheresis machine, which is a giant centrifuge, which separates blood
Mm-hmm.
into the liquid component, which is yellowish, which is plasma, and the cells, which are the red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. And these are all given back to you. So all you actually lose is a little bit of fluids, a little bit of proteins and sugars, which are all replenished in 24 to 48 hours.
Awesome. So you said if you are eligible to donate plasma, right? So what are the eligibility criteria for if somebody says like, okay, and this sounds good, I want to now donate plasma, but how, I'm not sure if I'm eligible to donate the plasma or not. So what are some of the things, what are the eligibility criteria, if there are any?
Many eligibility criteria, Vijay. And one of the reasons why donors are so precious to us, the first and foremost, you have to have suffered COVID-19. Okay. I know in a way it's unfortunate, but you have to have suffered COVID-19 and then recovered from it. And the first and most important criteria is that you have crossed 28 days of being completely symptom free. That is the first criteria. Or you could have had a COVID negative report after having a COVID positive report for 15 days and over. Then we come to the simpler criteria, which is age. The age limits are 18 to 60 years, a weight of over 50 kgs. And female donors, if they want to donate, they have to have never ever conceived or never ever been pregnant, because the plasma from such females could harm a recipient. Lastly, one of the basic criteria is that you should be preferably not on any prescription medicines. We have a host of exclusions, and that the doctors on the team take care of. If we note there's a prescription medicine, we are well versed with judging whether a person can donate or not. Minute other criteria are also as important because they affect eligibility, and I want to mention three main ones in them. One is a dental procedure. Any minor dental procedure carries a deferral period of 6 months. A vaccination dose after being COVID positive carries a deferral of 14 days. So
basically, if you have got a vaccine, then you can't donate for 14 days, is it?
But you have to have suffered COVID. Just being vaccinated and having antibodies doesn't allow you to donate plasma because it's convalescent plasma. You have to have recovered, convalesced from COVID. And then if you decide to get vaccinated, we just received a circular yesterday. The deferral period is just 14 days.
Great. Okay. So if people say like, okay, this all makes sense. How do I donate plasma? Where do one begin?
Just waiting for all of you. Really, head to pranapanindia.com, head to our social handles. There's a donor link available, and I get it all the time that our WhatsApp appeal is also circulating really widely. So just click on that link. It will take you all of 3 minutes and press the submit button.
I'll link all of that on the description. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yes. So once you've done that, it enters our backend registry. It comes to us. The doctors on the team, we will do a quick eligibility check. And then we hand over to our volunteers who will then start making the call and getting to know more about your COVID journey. And of course, following that, it comes back to us, to the doctors, to decide the final eligibility and planning of your donation. And you're all set to go to donate that bag of life.
That's amazing. Can someone donate multiple times?
Yes, absolutely. As per the current guidelines, once you donate plasma, and if you are still meeting all the eligibility criteria, you can donate every 15 days.
Wow.
And remember, your one bag of plasma is made into 2 alicos and goes to save 2 recipients. We are mandated to have your bags go to 2 different recipients. So one donation, one gift of life actually saves 2 lives at a time. And once you donate every 15 days, of course, that number grows up exponentially.
Wow, that's amazing. So every 15 days you can donate, and then once you donate once, then that's saving two lives, right? So are there people, the donors that you have worked with, who have donated multiple times? And if there's any story like that, that would be really great if you can share, if you have had some donors who have, donated n number of times.
Yes, certainly. Yeah, we are truly blessed with the selflessness and generosity of our donors. We have the system set up to remind donors on day 12. But let me tell you, even before that, some of them already jump into the ring, and we have the phones buzzing to the volunteers or to us doctors saying, my 15th day is around the corner. Can I come back and donate again? And they have donated 5th, 6th, 7th. I think it's there in the Bangalore papers and the Bangalore TV. A classmate of our co-founder, Dr. Lobo, he has donated for the 9th time in
Wow.
Bangalore. In Mumbai, we have a plasma legend in Bhavesh. He has donated 13 selfless times, saving 26 lives with his continuous donations. And yesterday he calls me and says, Doctor, if somebody needs my plasma, I'm ready for the 14th. Very, very touching. And I'm sure inspiring and motivating anyone out there thinking about donating plasma.
This is amazing. And, these are the times when you need people like Pavesh who have battled and won the fight against COVID. And then now they're saying, like, I'm going to help others to, fight this and, come stronger. So who cannot donate plasma? I think we discussed about some of the criteria that you have mentioned. And you have mentioned like pregnant woman. If you have ever conceived or were pregnant, then you can't donate. Why is it so? Like, does it harm the patient?
So when you conceive or when you have delivered a baby, during that process, you have been exposed to antigens from the father.
Hmm.
And they produce an immunological reaction in the mother. And these antibodies that a mother carries, they could harm a recipient's lungs. And remember, a recipient is struggling with their lung capacities. So we don't want to take a chance. And that's why we do not permit women who have ever conceived or ever been pregnant to donate.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a restriction on all chronic diseases like cancers, autoimmune disorders, thyroid disorders. Unfortunately, they cannot donate plasma. Also, a restriction on those who have undergone a tattoo or a body or ear piercing. There is a deferral for 1 year. But I received several pleas from all those who were either not eligible to donate plasma or went on donating every 15 days and then they couldn't donate anymore because their antibodies went down. Doctor, we still want to save lives with prana. And so began Prana Gift of Life and Love project, which is a blood and donor platelet registry. So if you haven't suffered COVID, you can still be a superhero and save lives. We have tied up with Save a Life of Tata Memorial Hospital for their children there to help them with platelet donations. And Pan India, we take requests both for blood and platelets as much for plasma.
But you also mentioned that someone who has got tattoo in the past, in less than 1 year, and if your tattoo is less than a year old, then you can't donate.
Yes, because it exposes a person to certain blood pathogens that we don't want to pass on to a recipient. So these are all part of the DNC Act, which applies to plasma as it is a blood product.
All right, doctor, let's do a math here. For someone who have recovered from COVID and want to donate plasma, and there are people, we are in such a situation right now. People are not finding plasma, they are not finding oxygen, hospital beds, and whatnot, and a lot of people, almost 3,000 people, are dying every single day, because they lack one or the other resource. So every single person donating counts. And we just want to pass that message on, right? Every single person donating, like, hey, there might be other people who might be donating, but, if we just take that responsibility and say that, hey, I want to save lives, you can literally be saving a lot of lives. So if I am someone who have recovered from COVID and I'm ready to donate plasma, how many lives can I save in another 3 months?
Perfect. Very simple math. Every 15 days, your one bag will go to save 2 lives. And so every month, 4 lives. And in 3 months, 12 lives. Literally, you would have made such a big difference to those 12 lives. You cannot imagine, the recipients' families, when they know that that bag of plasma is available and ready to pick up for their loved one. They are just filled with so much gratitude, and it all pays forward. It's this continuous circle of giving and receiving, and prana in the center of it. We have helped thousands of recipients since July, and come join us, join the Prana family, and save lives with us.
This is amazing. If you are someone who is listening and who have recovered from COVID and thinking that how can I be of service to other people, 12 lives. I mean, that's amazing. Being able to save 12 lives, I think that's the best thing that you can do. Someone who have been through COVID, and if you have, survived COVID, I think because with the situation that we are in right now, where people don't have resources and literally begging and pleading for the resources, and I have never seen human being helpless, right? Where you just have no options, and you can literally be gift to someone's life and their family when you just decide to go out there and donate plasma. If you can't do every 15, at least do once, and then if you like that, then you can give a shot and do twice or thrice if you feel like, but at least save that 2 lives. And if you want to do it every 15 days, like Vavesh, the story of Vavesh that Dr. Maria said, 26 lives. That's amazing. All right, Dr. Maria, this has been a great conversation. So for the people who are staying home, who don't have COVID, what are some of the safety tips that you want to give so that everybody can stay safe, stay home? Are there any precautions or anything that you'd like to share with everybody listening?
Absolutely. Prana has been emphasizing and advocating, and even personally, we have SMS message, as we call it. Sanitize your hands frequently, mask up, double mask now if you want, add a shield, and lastly, S for social distancing. Truly, if it is not essential, if it is not life-threatening, the safest place is your home. Stay within your safety bubble. I think you have to exercise this responsibility towards yourself. For only in protecting yourself, you can protect your loved ones, and pay it forward, protect society, and then stop the spread that India is facing at this time. We really need to own up to our individual responsibility, and only then can this collective effort fight COVID.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Everybody listening, pranapanindia.com. I'll repeat that, pranapanindia.com. Log on to the website right now and register to be a plasma donor. And somebody from Dr. Maria's team, the volunteers, will reach out to you asking you to proceed with the next steps on your plasma donation journey. Dr. Maria, thank you so much. This has been a great conversation.
Thank you, Vijay. Can't thank you enough. I can call you a prana pillar now. And everyone listening in, thank you so much. Remember, this pandemic will go away and we can all fight this, but we have to be all hands in together. Thank you. Thank you, Vijay.
Hey, thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Inspiring Talk. I have put the link to register for plasma donation with Prana Pan India on the description of this episode. Also, you can donate to Give India under Pod for Change initiative by visiting theinspiringtalk.com/give. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you in the next. Stay inside and never lose hope.